Okay, on this LG C1 we have this boost mode feature, which I'm sure a lot of people use, especially on console, because it allows you for 60 frames games. So if you have a log 60, it allows you to get a boost on that input lag responsiveness, and it feels, so the goal is that this is gonna feel like 120 frames, and it actually feels very responsive, very good. It feels great, and I'm sure that's the way most people would play on a console. And also on this game, this is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is one of my favorite games ever. uh, this game also has a great HDR. Okay, but here's the thing: this OLED TV is a sample and hold display. So what that means is when you move the camera like this, it looks blurry, super blurry actually. It looks very, very low resolution. So all that 4K goodness, actually right now I'm running the game at 5K max out. Okay, it's 5K using NVIDIA Deep Learning Super Resolution. So all that resolution, all that clarity is completely gone when you move the camera. So when you move the camera, you're actually getting 300 lines of resolution. It looks awful. It looks completely blurry. You cannot distinguish anything. You cannot read the text. It's awful. So on this LG OLED, we have the option to use Motion Pro, which is black frame insertion, and at 60 frames it works very well, but you get a little bit of flickering. Okay, so I am okay with that. The flickering, it doesn't bother me. After a while your eyes get used to it, and unless you have a very bright you have too much white on the screen and it's super bright everywhere, the flickering is not, I mean, you can get used to it. It's okay, and it's going to look twice as good in movement. So when you move the camera, if you use black frame insertions or Motion Pro on high, you move the camera at 60 and it's gonna give you double the motion resolution. It's going to look, no, actually it's gonna give you a lot more. It's going to look like 120 frames per second, sample and hold. Okay, so yeah, double the resolution. So but we actually have another option on this LG C1, and an option that can gives you actually 240 frames. So the equivalent of having the game running at 240 frames per second, and that is absolutely amazing. How is the TV able to do that? Well, the TV using a combination of motion interpolation and black frame insertion at the same time. Basically the TV is creating frames that don't exist. So instead of 60 frames, the TV is creating another 60 frames, and on top of that is using a black frame insertion, which is simulating an impulse display. So an impulse display, when you move the camera, it looks fantastic, like a plasma TV or a CRT. So instead of getting this awesome input response, we can instead get the motion resolution. So we get rid of that blurriness, which looks awful, and that's the way I would play. So I would use standard mode. So I am on console mode, standard mode, and for 60 frames per second we go under clarity and we use here true motion, de-blur on 10, and we use Motion Pro on medium. And what that is going to do for you, you're only going to see here the downside, which is basically the input lag. See, the input lag now is higher. So on this video I cannot show you how awesome this looks in movement. It is so huge. The difference when you move the camera is 4 times better. That's how much better it looks. But it's actually more than that, because the difference is between having a perfect motion clarity. So when you move the camera, all that resolution, all those graphics, they stay. So you get zero blurriness it looks so fantastic that if I go back, I have the feeling that the TV is just broken. Like, how can this look so bad in comparison? So, is the input lag so bad that I cannot play the game? Okay, well, let's take a look at it. This game, if you've ever played Sekiro, you know that parry is something challenging. And I am not very good at this game. I beat the game already, but I'm not a master or anything like that. But you will see that I'm able to parry. You will see. Hopefully. You see, I can parry the enemy. Of course I can lose, because I'm trying to make the video. But it is possible. Actually, I'm going to beat the enemy. So you see that it is actually usable. It is playable. Let me show you that. So this is the first time I die on the game, because I just started a new game, just to see all these features. Let me show you that. If I can kill this enemy, that's basically going to demonstrate that the input lag is not that bad. I forgot the control to heal. Okay. Well, I'm actually not killing it. I forgot the controls. Okay. See if I can beat the enemy. So you see I can do parries. So that's already a demonstration that the input lag is not that bad. This enemy is challenging. See, I do one parry after another. No problem. See? Okay, so I should be able to kill this. Oh, I have to that attack, I have to dodge the attack. Of course, it's gonna take me a couple tries. This enemy is actually very challenging. The first time you fight this guy, you're probably gonna be fighting it for a solid hour, at least. Unless you are a Souls veteran. And even if you're a Souls veteran, even if you beat already, you know, Dark Souls or Bloodborne, it's still gonna take you some time to get used to this parry system, which is awesome. I mean, I think this is one of the best combat system ever. It is being surpassed by Themisia, in my opinion. A new indie game that is just insane. It's a lot better than this, in my opinion. The combat system is basically taking a lot of elements from Sekiro, but it's improving upon it, and it's just fantastic. I love the parry system, because you have to watch the enemy. See how many parries, how many successful parries I've done on this video. So even if I am not able to beat the enemy, I already demonstrate that it is playable. If you can parry the enemy on this game, you can beat it. Okay, so it seems like, oh, we have to kill it 2 times. Actually, I'm surprised how well I am doing. I was not even expecting to be able to beat this guy. I haven't played the game in a while. I've been playing Elden Ring. In Elden Ring, there's no focus on parries. Yeah, I beat the enemy. See? And I'm not that good. I mean, I beat the game already, but it was like 2 years ago. So there you go. The input lag is there, but you can play the game. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. It is playable. And the timing. So the timing is muscle memory. Muscle memory works by repetition and just by getting used to it. So you try both. If you are getting your so if a boss on this game is just destroying you, you will definitely appreciate to having that responsiveness, that added responsiveness. But I promise you, you try this setting, you move the camera, there's no going back. I cannot believe somebody tried this setting, move the camera, and can go back to the blurriness just to get input response. No way. And this is probably one of the worst examples because this is a very difficult game. This is not GTA 5. This is not just a game to, just press the attack button and beat every enemy. This game is tough. So input lag is very important, and I wish I could get both. But unfortunately, on this sample on hold displays, we cannot get both. To get both, you need to get a CRT. CRT is perfect. CRT is probably the best technology for gaming, for sure. But it is a dead technology, unfortunately. But if you ever try a CRT, you will see that there is zero input lag, and when you move the camera, it's perfect. So there you go.